Have you ever wondered what great project managers do that makes them great and efficient? Based on my experience mentoring hundreds of PMs, I found that if you do a specific set of project management activities, you will consistently deliver projects on time and within budget. So, in this video, I'll reveal what those top 17 activities are, how even a junior level project manager can implement them, and give you a system that will help you cover all of them. But do you need to start doing all of the 17 activities all at once? Most probably you covered several activities already, but I am sure not all of them. And yes, if you want to be a great project manager, you need to practice them all. So let's dive in. Most IT projects have a poorly organized scope of work because of Scrum and Kanban frameworks. These agile frameworks shine in purely agile environments. In all other cases, you must keep the scope of the project clearly organized by deliverables. Think of deliverables as a package full of completed epics or user stories. And in practice, it will be a new version or a build of your product or service with these promised capabilities. The second project management activity comes hand in hand with the first one. That's because even if you organize your project by deliverables, you still do them all at once. Instead, you should set a work in progress limit for deliverables. Again, in practice, you should fill a sprint with user stories from 2, maybe 3 epics at most. And wow, by the way, there is another critical tip on epics in just a few minutes. Stay tuned. But we are moving on, because most project managers have a critical false assumption. They assume that if a person gets a salary, they should automatically be motivated to work with you and follow your project management approach. That's a dangerous assumption. Instead, you should earn permission to be their leader. You must prove you can lead them to the project success and their career success as well. That's why you need weekly one-on-one meetings with your key team members. These meetings will allow you to motivate people and get their support. Oh, talking about people. In the IT industry, people equals requirements. If you accept this simple formula, managing a project becomes so much easier. But it's not the PM activity you must implement. Instead, you must understand that 20% of those people will generate 80% of value and problems. That's why you need to create and maintain a written stakeholder register. It will help you identify those 20% of key stakeholders and will help you manage their engagement. And if you don't have a template, I'll leave you a link to my stakeholder management plan template in the description. Feel free to use it. By the way, it's better to keep the stakeholder register as a separate document. However, in the IT industry, keeping some project management tools as separate spreadsheets or Google Docs is not that efficient. For example, if you use Scrum or Kanban, moving the risk register into your Jira is much better. Create risks as specific issues and manage them in the context of a sprint or current set of tasks. This way, risks will always be in front of the whole team, increasing the exposure of those risks. Next, while working with many software development teams, I discovered one powerful question. It helps you to identify full scope of work, more risks, and avoid lots of defects. And this question is super simple. For each new feature that we develop, we ask each other, how will we test it? This open-ended question reveals so many new aspects for each piece of work. Just listen more than you speak and facilitate constructive discussions. Now I have a secret to share. I did fail several projects in my career, but at the same time, I was always able to find the root cause of the failure, which means I was able to avoid similar mistakes in the future. However, it was possible due to one critical aspect of my project management approach. I always had a lot of performance data that I could analyze. That's why it's critical that you collect project performance data on a task level and you do it daily. Oh, with that said, I remember my first web development project. After several years of working in the Apple's ecosystem, I was shocked. The web world looked like the wild, wild west. Applications didn't talk to each other and it was a struggle to connect them into one system. The fact is, all project management software on the market has this same problem. That's why you must keep everything in one tool. For example, if you use Jira, then use Confluence for documentation, use comments for communication, and use internal linking to integrate everything together. Do not generate hundreds of unrelated documents across dozens of apps. On top of that, project management software is dumb. It cannot read your mind. That's why project integration is still on you. And there is one critical activity that will help you. You should always maintain consistent naming across different documents and tools. As much as practical, you should use naming and titles that customers use. And if you do need to correct them to avoid any future confusion, do it as early as possible. Explain to the customers that it's super important. Next. In the IT industry, people are overloaded with meetings, different errands, and the main project tasks that they must implement. That's why they often have to do these critical tasks in between those meetings in fragmented and unproductive chunks of time. And that's why I highly recommend setting one day a week without meetings. And at very least, forbid internal meetings. Make this day as productive as possible with minimal distractions. Wow, 10 down, 7 more to go. If you find these tips valuable, please click the like button right now. Thank you in advance. Alright, project management activity number 11. That will make you a great project manager. So, it would be best to have more free time to do the most important work that only you can do. Do you agree? That's why I recommend hiring a virtual assistant. And of course, in the form of an AI tool. If you are not using ChatGPT or something similar, you should start right after this video. Every day you should think about a new way an AI can speed up or automate your work. Alright, next you must be an efficient project manager. You must level up your time management skills and focus on essential tasks. That's why I recommend you get a free ClickUp account and organize your work in a new way. I'll leave you a link in the description that explains how to use it. Now, you see, many IT project managers miss opportunities to improve their project management approach. And one such critical opportunity is a defect that customers or end users find, but your team has missed. The truth is, such cases are never an accident. It's a flaw in the software development process. That's why you need to conduct post-mortem analysis for each and every case. Such analysis should result in continuous process improvements. Again, many IT project managers are so busy that they use ad hoc leadership and motivation approaches. They fix issues and resolve personal problems in the moment. However, they never track patterns in people's behavior. They look at all people management issues in isolation. Don't be that kind of a manager. Instead, create and maintain issue log. It's a document where you capture all conflicts. It will help you identify patterns in good and bad behavior. And also, it will help you ensure that conflicts get resolved to the end. Next problem. All IT project managers work in a bubble of their project and company. They use the same tools, work with the same people, and manage similar projects. As a result, your skills become dull over time, and moving to another company will be super stressful. That's why I recommend that you sharpen your tools from time to time. Alright, just read a new book on project management once in a while. And I recommend this book if you haven't read it already. Again, there is a link in the description. Alright, now if you work with Scrum and have a long project or you continuously develop a product, you need to be very careful with organizing your epics. You must ensure that epics are deliverables. They should not span across several months of development and they shouldn't be a storage for future ideas. Instead, epics should cover a specific feature or capability you can develop in one release cycle. An epic should be closed once all user stories are done. Next one. And it's a great way to improve your communication skills. You should start using recorded videos rather than spending lots of time typing all the details in an email or Slack. Record a video that explains the problem or the solution you developed. You can use tools like Zoom, Video or Loom to record yourself and your screen very quickly. Then you can easily share your recordings with others. Alright, now here's the biggest problem. These activities do not require any specific knowledge or skills, but they take time and your attention to details. Remember, to be a great project manager, you need to practice them all. So, how can you find more time in your already busy workday? That's why you need to watch this video. I'm going to share 5 simple habits that can save you up to 13 hours per week. These are simple routines so anyone can implement them. Watch it now and become the most efficient project manager in your organization.